MKE Now. My name is Sue Roskoff. Ability MKE Now is a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have different abilities, and here at Ability MKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own, with people we know, or with people we encounter in our daily lives. Here at Ability MKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. Now, I am exceptionally excited today to be introducing some new friends to the show. We have, oh gosh, I think everybody's going to truly enjoy the information that you'll be hearing about today. We've got three good friends joining us. And first, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Giovanna Sidoti to join us. And Giovanna, so glad that you can join us tonight. If you could do us a favor of giving us a bit of an introduction of who you are and what you're going to be talking about with us tonight.
Wonderful. So happy to be here. So thank you for the opportunity. I'm here because there's something called redox signaling molecules in a product called ASEA. Redox signaling molecules are something our bodies make naturally, and they found a way to replenish the molecules. By replenishing the things that you were discussing, some of those disability categories can be turned around to some degree or improved because the body is lacking these molecules, and this is what helps with the improvement. Am I right, Joanne?
Excellent. We're going to go ahead and bring in our next guest to join the conversation here. Joanne Grigoriev, so glad you can join us. Thank you for being here. And yes, please go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Sue, and delighted to see you here and Giovanna. And I have to agree 100% with Giovanna. And the way it works with disability and ability, it all starts at the cellular level. So the cell's ability to keep us healthy and vibrant and resilient is dependent on not only the things we do, but the redox cell signaling system inside of us. And when that redox system is low and slow and wonky and confused, we, instead of having cells full of the ability to keep us resilient, they start to slow down. And we find ourselves on the side of cells that are disabled to take prime care of us. And so that it starts really at the tiniest in our body, ability and disability. And so we sometimes call it dysfunctional to functional or vulnerable to resilient. I think we have the same message. Would you say, Sue?
Very, very much so. So I know the whole concept of redox it's a very scientific piece, but I know it can be broken down to you don't have to have the science background necessarily to understand how this works and why this works. You want to just give us the simplest possible version of what this exactly is and how I should say why it's important for us to be aware and take care of ourselves in this way.
Well, first of all, I mean, wave your hand if anything's ever hurt in your body.
Oh my gosh, I think that goes to all of us.
Or if you've ever like been in a bout of depression or you've watched somebody losing their memory, right? These things start at the very foundational level in our body. So just think foundational. And when we are giving the body what it needs at the foundational level, the body can take care of itself. But without, and those are the redox molecules. But I think it's just exactly why should we know about it, and why should we know we don't really need to know the science. Like, we don't need to know how the engine works in the car. We just want to get in the car and use it.
We just want to
And
use it. We want it to work.
I mean, if you look at what Giovanna has behind her, suffering is optional, relief is golden. That tube that she has there, that's the magic, because the science is all packaged up in there and how it works is like, but it works. Why? Because it's getting to the foundation of how the cells fix themselves. I mean, Giovanna, do you want to share your experience with adding redox molecules that the scientists have been able to give us, right, in a product form that is completely non-toxic and native to our body, can't hurt us. We give it to our babies, pregnant women, old people, Olympic athletes. Can you share what it's done for you, in your life?
What we didn't say, yes, I will, is that we are deficient of these molecules because of the variety of things that go on in everyday life, including aging and stress relief related. So as a result, because we're deficient, all these other things start entering or creeping up, including the pain, that people end up having. Um, and it can be turned around by drinking the molecules, applying this gel, which only was introduced in February of this year, 25. And adding that to my regimen, I'm a dancer and my knees need to be in good shape in order for me to dance. And applying it to my knees has made a profound difference. And yeah, the relief is just, it's relief and then there's recovery. So it's not always instantaneous, although for some people there is an instant response and the body receives it. But for some like me, it was more of recovery long term.
Excellent. So people do have different experiences. It can be something that makes a pretty fast difference, or it can be something that it takes a little bit of time for our body to take it in and to make that adjustment so that we can feel better. And and that makes total sense to me. So, and you're saying that this it comes in different forms then. So it's in something that's a topical gel, and it's
Right.
also something that there's another product that can be ingested.
A liquid
Yeah.
form. I've
Is
been, Joanne's been drinking it over 14, I think, years, her and her husband, and my husband and I over 3 years. And I did not know I was going to stop getting unbearable headaches. So
So that's a
it's a,
difference it's made for you. That's
it was,
huge.
it's huge
Isn't that
because
huge? Yeah, that's
they're,
huge.
yeah, they're debilitating. And I was actually thinking today how delightful it is to live this life without having to endure that anymore.
And
Wow.
to
Yes.
think that that's happening as we're getting older, like
Mm,
that's not the norm it's just not the norm to be having the body healing better and resolving things, and shifting into thriving as we're aging. And yet that's what's happening when we give our body the redox molecules. So this is what it looks like. And we teach people, how to take it, and so that you can shift from suffering to resilience.
When there's a way to make yourself feel better and it's so simple. It's just
mhm.
a matter of being aware of options that are out there because
Yeah.
there's another friend that actually had introduced me to this once a while ago, and it honestly made my head spin around a little bit like, wait, we can do what? So until somebody tells you about the option that's out there, you don't know. So I'm so glad you're
Mhm.
able to share more and educate us on things that can make life better. That's what we all want better for ourselves. So
We
that,
do.
and to say that the phrase there, that suffering is optional, relief is golden. Oh, yes. So much
Mhm.
yes. And do you have, I know, Giovanna, you just shared a story. Actually, Joanne, do you know of any stories that you can share with us as well of like success stories and how this has made a difference, whether it's for you or for somebody that you know?
We have thousands upon thousands. Just, I mean, well, my own story, I had a very weak immune system, a whacked out, that's my term, whacked out hormone system. And so I was hurting and I was low and slow. And it wasn't until I was 51 years old that I was able to address that at the cellular level. But no matter what I was doing, I was still having long bouts of bronchitis and those kinds of things, right? Just dragging you down. So that has shifted. And I'm now turning 66 in a few days. And I feel so much better now than I did in my 40s and 30s. So is that crazy?
Hmm.
It's amazing. And I gotta say, so I have the advantage, I can see you right now. I would never in a million years have guessed that that is your age. So that you're living life right. I love it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's foundational. It's that's what we have here for us. That and I believe that in this day and age, the cells are getting pummeled by the environment and the stress, and they're not keeping up. So this is, I think, an essential tool for us all to live to our full vibrancy.
Hmm. There's also the one of the other things that affects these redox molecules are medication, and this is something that neither of us do as a result of the redox, because we are feeding our bodies something that it's craving and needing. And I mean, we don't get sick anymore, which is really amazing.
That
Yes.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Well, and we do have another friend that is joining us tonight as well. So I do want to bring her into this conversation. I know anyone who's been listening for a while, I'm sure has met Marianne at some point along the way here. But Marianne Ambrose is here, Marianne of Waikiki. So if you want to go ahead, Marianne, just remind everybody who you are, what you all do, and so glad you're here to share what you do and to join this conversation. How you doing tonight?
Good. Well, aloha and hola, ladies, and aloha, Milwaukee. I'm Marianne of Waikiki. I'm the author and Apple game developer of the Acts of Kindness series. We have books, coloring books, folk manis puppets, Apple app games for ocean cleanup, anti-bullying, and climate change. And they feature sign language characters. And we just celebrated World Water Day in March, and we have a video by Sue to play on our YouTube channel now with Leon McLaughlin. We partner with him out of Seattle, Washington. He is the founder of Clean Water Foundation, where he brings water units worldwide to schools, hospital, clinics, really focusing on the Hopi Navajo and doing many fundraisers this summer. A couple of things. We won the Awesome Grant Foundation Award in July, $1,000. So we gifted the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind a water unit, as well as my second book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, for October is Anti-Bullying Month. And we also won the Awesome Foundation for the Minnesota chapter, where we gifted the Minnesota Metro School for the deaf, the series of the books for our librarian Matthew, who is deaf, and the elementary schools, the secondary, the high schoolers will all get to read this. So we are sharing with the world that anybody can apply for an awesome grant foundation. And there's different chapters, different cities, different countries. There's on the water too that we're manifesting that you and Kurt will be winners to be receiving adaptability, water skis and equipment for your summer fun. We're also doing summer fun with Santa Papa John. He's been our TikTok advocate, our influencer with promoting the book series, and hopefully we'll do a summer reading with our fourth book, Pono the Hawaiian Polo Pony, and he's got all the characters. So we got great funds that are happening, and again, all classroom teachers can receive copies of the books from an organization called DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. So you can view the videos if you want to follow us as we roll over onto YouTube. And every Saturday, we are on the World of Ability podcast with host husband. Kurt Roscoff with Sue Roscoff, and they've appointed me as the creative director, and we try and bring the good news. So again, anybody can join us, and usually Leon joins us the latter part of the show, and we have the new videos to show, the book trailers, pretty exciting stuff, and looking forward to working with Bravehearts Television in Chicagoland area. So again, I'm Marianne of Waikiki. You can visit www.actsofkindnessseries.com, and aloha, Milwaukee.
Thanks so much for being here, Marianne. So yeah, the Acts of Kindness series is a such a uplifting, beautiful series and way to share and sharing sign language. We all need to communicate, and
Mhm.
the learning and knowing more ways to do that. It only makes life better. We're all about making life better. So, well, I just want to
talking
make sure.
about talking about things on a cellular level, I just want to share too that it's essential to have clean water, and water is life. And we recognize Dr. Emoto, who did a scientific experiment and putting the word love on a glass of water versus hate, and watching the molecules crystallize into beautiful formations or ugly formations. So again, our bodies are full of water. We're like 90% ladies, right?
True.
So by changing our thought process, using peace, love, happiness, and thanks versus, you know, swear words or ugly or, I hate you and bullying, changing that mindset and putting that in and showing and demonstrating that acts of kindness, it will multiply around the world. And again, we want to do that with Awesome Foundation. We want to get all the USA schools copies of the books. And again, teachers are getting ready, ending the school year. Sue, you're ending your teacher's curriculum as well. Your students are being shipped off to Hawaii. We can't wait to meet them, and aloha spirit with their biology background and education, and cleaning up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is our first book for ocean cleanup. And again, all that affects our mind, body, and spirit. And I also share that I listen to solfeggio frequencies to rid virus, rid parasites. I got a little sty, so I'm listening to the frequency here for my eye. And I listen throughout the night for pain, relieving different things, and letting go of things that are no longer serving you any purpose. So again, I'm Marianne of Waikiki, and back to you, Sue, and aloha, Milwaukee.
Yeah, the theme that I've heard over and over recently, it keeps coming back to me, is that attitude of gratitude and how much that makes a difference in it for everybody to have that type of an outlook really makes such a difference for each of us. And gosh, I'm curious now with Asia, with any training that you guys all have as well. Is that something that's also a theme at all with what you're doing, and that the positivity and all things health related? Does it expand into that too?
100%, 100%. I mean, we start with that. The cells make no distinction between the mental, emotional, and physical stress, right? The impact. If it's negative, it's going to, and it's like ever bearing. It said the body doesn't have a chance to rid it. Then, if that continues, it's going to become oxidative stress. So, absolutely, cell damage it doesn't distinguish between a mental or an emotional insult or a physical insult. It's all damaging. So that's why we talk about positive thoughts, meditation, prayer, all of that in, is absolutely going to put you into resilience rather than vulnerability.
Makes such a difference. I know we have a gentleman who is a friend of ours that has smile cards. He's all about uh uplifting and that positive message, and life has a purpose. And he says, go mad, MAD, go make a difference. That's a statement that he shares. His name is Barry Shore, and he's made quite an impact in my little corner of the world here with being that positive peace. Even the word smile, he's made into an acronym of seeing miracles in life every day. So there's so many
Beautiful.
good ways to look forward and look at all the things that are positive and ways to make life better for ourselves. A lot of it is that mindset of what can I do for me? What is going to help me be a better person, the best version of me I can be? And some of that is the mental piece of the gratitude and looking to the positive. Some of it is how am I taking care of my body? And I know with what you guys are doing with the products and the learning that you all have associated with what you do, that there's all sorts of positivity there and ways to help your body and help feel better. And I know you said there's lots and lots of different stories out there. Do you have any other favorites that you've heard that you'd like to share?
Well, we have, people that are in a funk, like they're in a very dark mood and they're having trouble getting out of that, right, Giovanna? We even did a
Yes.
couple of webinars that if you want to share about what happens with the redox.
You mean,
It it's like when somebody's really struggling with that situation and they can't get out of the darkness in their head and in their heart, putting the redox into the body, it's like jump starting your car. It's
Mm.
like a jump start. And so the balance at the body, at the molecular level starts to happen. And that once again is affecting everything, the mind and the emotions. And then this person, right? Giovanna
mhm.
says it beautifully. Do you want to say, like, she calls it the lift? The person feels the lift.
Right, the unveiling, if you will, of, you know, like what was I missing out on all this time? There is a young woman. It was a traumatic brain situation, and she was in disbelief, and she wasn't willing. And her mom said, "Well, we're gonna do it." So her parents started drinking it just to see what would happen, and all these positive things happened for them. And even though she was in total disbelief, the daughter, she was like, all right, I'm just going to do it just to prove you wrong.
I love that.
And she couldn't prove them wrong because she could feel the difference, and her brain fog lifted. And she is a huge advocate today to reach as many people as possible in this situation. Um, I'm speaking to a young woman who something similar happened to her. She's not quite ready yet, so you just kind of sprinkle them with the stories and give them encouragement. She's a young mother with 4 boys. I
Whew.
had two. Uh, uh, that was brave enough for me. And yeah, so we'll see. I'm just going to keep on sprinkling her. But she's open. This is the thing. People are so hesitant in so many ways, but we're living proof, and this is what we bring to the table. Um, that it's very beneficial in so many ways. Even something as simple as warts on the hand vanish.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't look for it. We didn't take pictures, unfortunately. We just realized that they were gone, and yeah, so that was a really also great testimony. But there's so many people who have, um, people with sugar issues. It also affects the brain, and
Hmm.
so it creates a degree of disability. It's a whole different one from one of the ones that you've described, in the intro. Um, and it changes for the best, and you can be resilient by when you're drinking the molecules. I mean, it becomes a way of life. Really, that's what it is for us. Um, we just never
But once
stop.
you start to feel the difference. It's like, well, do
Right.
I want to go back? Do I want
Mm.
to? It's like,
I do not want to suffer ever again with those.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, if there's a choice, we do have. There's parts in the world where we don't have those choices, and Giovanni and we're very passionate about bringing this to others to help the understanding of it. And right, it's like, I think redox is the 21st century common sense thing to do. It is the future. But once you asked for a special story for me early on when I learned, I was introduced to a young woman. She was riddled with inflammation, autoimmune challenge. The docs were going to put her on severe, like what they do for oncologist type of thing, the chemo. And when she heard what somebody introduced, put us together, 21 years old, she'd had this challenge for already 4 years and she understood healing at the cellular level. And she had to start with just touching it on her tongue and spraying it on the soles of her feet. That's how inflamed the body was. Like, really, it was really serious. And over 10 months, she gently increased, and she is now married. She has a baby. She has a career. She can be out in the sun. Before she couldn't. Before, she was in bed in pain all the time. And she has a full life. That's what it's about. I mean,
Wow.
brings me to tears. And you know, that's what it's about. It's like giving people their life back by empowering their own body to heal itself properly.
That is amazing.
mhm.
And that's what we all want. I mean, we all have challenges of whatever sort. And I know I'm always looking for ways to make life easier, make life better. We all want better. That's normal, right? And
Yes.
some things are easy to make changes for, and some things are harder.
Yes.
But when we have the right tools in our hands that we can utilize to make things better, what a difference. It's like
hmm
having that right tool. You mentioned about having that engine running. You don't necessarily need to know how the engine runs. You just need it to run, right? But we
Yes.
need to give it the right. It needs its gas. It needs the oil. It needs certain things to keep running smoothly. and and it sounds like this is very much like that, where it keeps our bodies running optimally. And oh my goodness, so that's something where what a difference that can make. And it sounds like there's so many people that has made that difference for. So I'm
hmm
glad we're able to learn more about this, and that we uh can take this in. So where, if somebody wants to find out more about this, I'm assuming there's sources out there where
There
people
are.
can find information. Is there something that is simple to share with us?
Yes. There's a website available. It's Giovanna, Giovanna dot ASEA live, MYSEA SESA, what is it?
ASEA ally.
LIASEA. Oh God, Giovanna dot yeah. Um, my ASEA live. ASEA is how you spell ASEA.com.
Do you like that we can
Yeah,
put
I
it in
will
the
share
chat?
that out when we share this out on our YouTube. I'll make sure to include that so that is available. You
Beautiful.
all are wonderful. I'm so glad that you took the time to have this conversation with us today. So Giovanna Sidoti and Joanne Grigoriev, you guys are wonderful, and
So are
thank
you,
you for
Sue?
sharing. Marianne, it's always wonderful to have you here and
Yes.
share with what you all do with actsofkindnessseries.com. As always, we thank you.
Thank you. This was delightful and
Yes.
precious.